Did y'all see how disrespectful they were toward that black security guard? Now, that was a security guard for the group that was on the Tennessee campus of Fearless. They were disrespecting the man, actually touching the man, and clowning his shoes. Now, listen, I'm not materialistic, but sometimes it might seem like I am. Just look at me. Yeah, we got these shades on. We got plenty of jewelry. I got way more jewelry right here. We're going to pull out that Gucci watch. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Let me grab my Versace. Okay, y'all know I've had my robes on. Those are Versace. Now, I said all that to say this. They were making fun of his shoes. Those ignorant dummies don't know that man had on some Brooks. Now, this is the shoe that they were making fun of. Okay? I actually own a pair. Okay? I own several pairs. And I like Brooks. They are a running shoe. You can tell the man he's a security guard. He looks kind of fit. Okay? So that means that the man does work out a little bit. And maybe he had the Brooks on just in case he had to run from some ignorant black people. But let me help y'all out. Why they up there making fun of that, man? These shoes, well, I purchased mine years ago. When I purchased mine, I spent $150 for these shoes. Now, I understand that they look like your typical Pro Wings, but no. $150. I don't know how much they going for today, but when I bought them, $150. $150 is a nice, pretty penny for a shoe, okay? So again, they disrespected that black man, touched all on him, clowned him, cussed him out, gave him the finger, all the above. The man was just working. And then I just want to show, I'm making this segment. Make sure you watch the rest of this, though, because the rest of this finna get good. But I just pointed that out because they trying to make fun of the man's shoe, and the man's shoe actually costs a nice penny. Actually costs a nice penny. That's all I'm saying.
What part of our systems is for people of color?
All of it. The entire system is for everybody. Anybody who's an American citizen.
So you feel like there's nothing. So you feel like everybody is equal.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's equal in their rights, but not everybody's obviously equal in their, what they have. Like, I grew up in a double wide trailer. He grew up in Boca Raton, so, we didn't grow up equal. We're both white. I mean, he's a Jew, so that's probably why he grew up in Boca Raton. But so we're not equal in what we possess as we start always, but we are equal in what we're allowed to do, our opportunity.
Can I ask you? Do you think that there's any law that allows me to do something that you can't do, for example?
I don't think there's any laws that say that you can do something that I can't. But then again, this system can't be ignored. Like, we can't just say it does not exist because there are countless examples of it existing.
Maybe just one example of what you're talking about. So what's wrong with the system that allows, I guess, racism to be systemic or institutionalized?
I mean, I would argue the opposite. Like, again, we have civil rights acts on top of civil rights acts, in addition to the 14th Amendment's Equal Protection Clause. 14th Amendment being written for the sole purpose of expanding and equalizing the rights of white people and black people. And furthermore, the 14th Amendment Equal Protection Clause echoes exactly what, like, the Civil Rights Act says, right? You cannot be discriminated based on your inalienable characteristics like your race, your sex, your sexuality, etc.
But even though we have these laws, that doesn't stop it from happening. We still know that.
You're right, racism does happen still, even though there are laws that ban it. And I think that those laws are oftentimes used to enforce a culture of anti-racism. In the United States, we actually cancel people for being racist all the time. But we have in the system, as far as the system goes, you can't stop people from being racist on an individual level, unfortunately. It happens in every country, on every continent, all around the world, and it has since the beginning of time. But what you can do is make it illegal to institutionalize it by saying, you can't allow you have to allow everybody to eat at your restaurant. You can't not admit people based on their color. You can't prioritize people based on their color, etc. And I would say that I would say getting rid of DEI works towards that objective.
So, y'all had say make America great again. How do y'all feel that America is not great, and how do y'all feel that America can be great again? And when was it great?
Yeah, I would say that the most recent example of America being great was the first term of Donald Trump. And then we had 4 years of Joe Biden in chaos, and then Trump is president again. So this is his campaign hat for his, lead up to his second term.
A few moments later.
Come on.
Yo.
You better not, boy! You better not!
Okay.
So this first gentleman proved to us that we can sit down, have a civil conversation, respectful conversation. That young man did phenomenal. The first young man that sit up here and went to the table had no issues. They had a peaceful dialogue. Hey, they exchanged ideas, no harm, no foul. Then a few minutes later, the crowd came. And then all the ratchetness, all the ghetto, all the stereotypes and stigmas that's attached to black people, here they come. Yeah. But the majority of black people are like the first gentleman that came up. So we already killed that narrative. So the fact that one young man can sit there and have a conversation with them versus the other heathens, I'm gonna call them heathens, the other heathens that forced those young men, those gentlemen out off the campus. What's the difference? Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. I'm gonna let that sizzle in your spirit. Y'all, we have to quit making excuses. Just like when they were having this dialogue, the white young gentleman actually empathized with the black man when he talked about systematic racism. He acknowledged that there are racial disparities. He literally acknowledged that. But everybody that sees this video gonna look over that. So I said that to say this: not all white people are naive to some of the things that we talk to. As a black man, I understand that if I go in certain places, I'm going to get a certain look, especially because I got locks in my hair, especially if I got my jewelry on, all of that. Even if I just cut all my hair off and didn't have no jewelry on, and I walk peacefully. Sometimes in certain spaces and certain places, you're going to get certain looks. We know that. But as far, just like the gentleman said, there's nothing constitutional that me and you can't do. We have the same rights. Are there racial disparities? That white gentleman acknowledged it. Yes, there are. I haven't experienced them because I'm not in your shoes. You have not experienced because I'm not in your shoes. Do you think all white people get along? Do you think some white people don't face challenges as a white individual? If you think you're naive, okay? Did y'all see how they took the signs? They took the signs. Then the one gentleman walked up. When the man said, "Can you put my signs back?" and he went after, the one gentleman stood it up and said, "You bet not," right there in front of the police, literally threatened the Caucasian guy, the fearless guy, right there in front of the police. And they didn't say not one thing to that little black young man. Didn't say one thing. Now, listen, this is where it's going to get good.
That Representative Andy Ogles is asking a pretty good question, right? Why are we funding these woke colleges and universities that don't allow free speech, right? Because that's essentially what happened there, right? That college, that university was not allowing free speech. Why are we funding them? Okay, and I got a lot of questions about Tennessee State University because I feel like outside of just that, they probably shouldn't be funded at all. Let's be real, because let's look at their graduation rate, right? The 4-year graduation rate in 2023 to 2024 for all first-time, full-time freshmen, 15%. 15%. That is the 4-year graduation rate. 15%. For males, it is 11%. For females, it's 16%. Okay? I personally believe that at this point, there are some legitimate questions about should this college be funded at all. right? Considering how this college seems to be a complete and total waste of taxpayer money, right? These students clearly are not the brightest. They have an acceptance rate of 91%, bro. Like, come on. Like, seriously, let's be real. Let's be real here. Should we be funding this? Because a vast majority of these students probably should not be going to college, right? I mean, again, you talk about 91% acceptance rate, like literally, like if you apply, right? It doesn't matter who you are. If you apply, you're getting in, right? You're getting in